So, a couple things I was wrong about on Tuesday when I was sitting here. Number one, that I would still be here for Friday. I misinterpreted my days. I thought I was flying out last night. I'm not flying out till tonight. So, by the time you guys get this, I might be in the air. But ultimately, I was wrong there. Another thing I was off on is in my charts. I did a prediction on the charts. So far, I'm off today. We'll see if the day ends up different. But where we're at right now, I'm off. It's not exactly where it's landed. So what we've got here, as far as stuff that happened this week, we've had, of course, durable orders that went down. I think we talked about that. FHA housing price index, it took a bit of a dive. It's forecast to be up 2%. It's down negative 1%. The Case-Shiller price index, it went down from 4.5% to 4.1%. So they're pretty much going in tandem. Not exactly are they the exact same as far as their index is concerned. We know the indexes are different and how they read things, but they both showed a decline. Now, consumer confidence shows really high now, but also it's going backwards into previous thought process. So they're looking back on that consumer confidence, but that reading showing high. And we're going to look at another chart here that I'm looking at with respect to consumer spending, and that might be yielding over into confidence, but we'll see how that lands out in the future, because there are multiple things that could be pushing on that. Continuing, initial jobless claims, they're up, so more people filing for unemployment. Continuing claims, that's up. That jumped up pretty good. And that was also after a revision from the others that showed it went down previous months. There was a revision down, but now we have a much higher reading coming back out, potentially a revision down later. We also have personal income. That went up pretty significantly. Really, really high. Personal spending, that's actually down, but it's down from the previous reading that actually had to do with, I think, and we'll look into that. The spending thing that I was just referencing, I think, had more to do with the tariff situation. People were fearful, so they spent a bunch of money on things before the tariffs hit, thinking everything's going to skyrocket. And it didn't really work out that way. PCE prices, those are flat. As far as inflation is concerned, PCE core, that's pretty flat. So as far as that personal consumption expenditures index that the Fed looks at, that stayed fairly flat. But this is the chart I wanted to show you guys with respect to personal spending. This I thought was rather interesting, because that goes into these share screen options are not wanting to do their job. Okay, technology and me are not the best of friends, but I have to use it to communicate to you because the rotary phone is not going to let me talk to all you guys. And even though I'd love to go back to that instead of this, because I remember in the days of the rotary phone, if you couldn't get a hold of the person, you just call back later. You can't get a hold of them, you text them, you email them, you go on to Facebook, you go on to Instagram, you DM them. I mean, it's a really, really wild world that we live in, but at least we have the ability to communicate, right? So look at this. Okay, so we had personal spending go way up. Huge jump up from in the last reading. Now we have this reading here, so that's showing maybe is there some issues here as far as the confidence is concerned, where people are spending their money. I think it has more to do with the tariff scenario than anything. So that was my thought on this one. It's like, what they're looking at here may be an incorrect read, because people are very emotional creatures. The market is a very emotional place. Everything that's happened here is based on emotion. What do they think somebody else is going to do, and what can I do to get ahead of them? And that's how the market operates, for the most part. Now let's look at where I was wrong. That's the one thing I want to point out here, because I was, wrong-ish so far. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull up what I had put out as a chart to show you guys, and then we can determine how far off that I was. And I got to find this. I had it. I closed it because I was looking at something else, and now I have to go back and scroll and find it. It's not going to be long. Really, really quick find here. Here we go. So this is the prediction that I had made as to what we might see today. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on this. So I anticipated on Tuesday that we're going to see things go up. Actually, it doesn't look like I'm showing you, because this is not being friendly to me, as I had indicated. So hopefully you're seeing the chart that I had drawn on. So what you have here is we had our Tuesday movement right here. Then I anticipate to go up, hit the top of the channel, and then actually jump out of the channel and hit this ceiling and come back off and go right back into the channel. So that's what I anticipated. What ended up really happening was it did go up and hit the channel, but went back down. So it didn't stay at the top. It went back down and came into this. So that's where it stayed red instead of blue. So in essence, covered the same ground, just different direction. I thought it would start low and go high. It actually started high and went low. Then it actually did jump out of the channel, but started lower down here and rocketed itself up and hit there and actually broke through it. And then today opened up above it and is staying above it. So that's where I was off. And here's what we'll do. I will show that to you. Now, if I can get this thing to share screen properly, let me see if it'll do that for us. Here we go. All right, so as I was saying, here it was. We did that. It opened. I anticipated to open and just keep going, hit that channel. So let's spread this more so you guys can see it. But what it is, it opened here and went up, but went all the way down and came back, and it's closed lower. So it didn't stay up at the top part of the channel as I thought it would. But it's interesting, it opened the next day just below a moving average and worked its way out of that channel. And it kept hitting this as a ceiling over and over and over again. At the very end of the day, it pushed through and it closed there. So now we have today, we're opened up above, actually a slight gap open, and it pushed way back into below that ceiling, or below that floor at this point. It was a ceiling, below that floor, and now it's kind of playing right here, right at the top of this, wick. So we will see if it works its way back into the channel by the end of the day. I don't know. We'll just see what ends up happening. So I was a little bit off on that one, but the day is not done. We'll see how it all closes out. Yesterday it closed out higher than I anticipated. This could be good, but as we have seen, the channel loves to play around up here and come right back into it. We'll see how strong that channel is. Appreciate you guys, and I will talk to you guys on Tuesday from a different location, I'm sure.